You have made your EPDM roof, and now I'm going to show you how to make your green roof. So we are in 3D view. Let's go to second floor view. And don't worry about these things here. You're going to put stairs and an elevator in later on. I'm going to go to roof. And I already had one created, but your default right now is basic roof, insulation, and metal deck EPDM. And we're not going to worry about changing that right now. We're just going to make the outline. So if we click this pick lines, and I'm going to choose just inside here. And this edge, you notice we're not wrapping this one. That one is fine just the way it is. But on this right side, we're going to wrap. So I'm just going to do one of these to give you a couple tips as to how to do that. I like mine on thin lines. We'll go back to Modify Create. And I'm going to choose the outside edge of this. And this one, you see, it doesn't matter if it's connected necessarily. And this center line. So I have a whole bunch of lines on here. And really all I want is this line and this line. So I click on this Trim Extend. And if I choose this side here and this line, you notice it trims it to that corner and we're all good. Now if I clicked on this side instead, so I just undid that, and I choose this side and here, it trims to that corner. So you need to be careful. Make sure you click on the line that you actually want to keep, or on the part you want to keep. I want to keep this, and then I just kind of work my way around. This and this are connected just fine, but I want to go here to here, and then that trims that away. So you'll go ahead and continue by drawing more pick lines, and just choose one of those, and then we go and we trim and so on. You can see it deleted that part of the line down there. You'll have to add that again, and then just keep trimming away, and eventually you'll have this whole thing wrapped. So do that right now, and then you can join me again. So my columns have been trimmed around. You can kind of see each one of those has those lines, but in these corners they're straight. And now I'm just going to hit the green check, and let's take a look at this in 3D. And so now I have another EPDM roof, but I wanted this to be a green roof, so I got to go to the edge of it, and then I can select it. I'm going to edit this, duplicate it, and we're going to call this green roof. And I already have one labeled green roof, so I had to put a period on mine. But now we can edit this. So we need to adjust the layers on this thing. We go to Edit Type and edit the structure. And you notice that the metal decking is down below. So this is just a substrate underneath the original insulation and roofing. We're going to want to have this metal decking just because we need something to support the roof. This metal decking is not the same as in your assignment. It's not the same as this drainage plate. It's actually underneath all of it. So speaking of this assignment, if you chose the G1 or 2 or P1 or 2, because remember we noted that the 3s and 4s are too heavy. So we're going to pick one of the 1s or 2s. You're going to put those directly above the metal decking. So let's go back to this app right above the metal decking, which means that we aren't going to have this EPDM and we're not going to have this insulation because the thermal mass of the dirt and the gravel, or the dirt and the plants here, provide enough insulation for us. So what we need to do is we need to add a layer for protection mat, and then if you have granular drainage or drainage plate and separation fabric, and then your soil, and then plants, which we're just going to use grass. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers that we're going to add. So we'll do insert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my first layer, if I go back to here, was protection mat for both the G and the P. Protection mat is 1/4 inch. Protection mat is actually a piece of rubber that they put down. So if I search for rubber, and nothing is shown here, but if I open this up, then I'm going to see some more options down here. Now this first option is actually silicone rubber, which I probably don't want to choose. So I'm just going to choose black rubber for mine. The material doesn't really matter all that much. You just want to pick something that's similar to what we have. So I'm going to apply that one and hit OK. And that thickness for me was 1/4 inch. And then you have to go through and continue on with these. Now, if you try to search for the words protection mat, you're not going to find that because protection mat doesn't exist. So you're going to have to sort of figure out what is a similar type of material. Fabric would probably work for this. Granular drainage, we're talking about gravel. A drainage plate is probably steel. So those are some things that you could use. And then you also need to make sure that you have all your thicknesses set. a pretty good thickness for grass, which is going to be your top layer, so about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches. But the last thing you need to do to make sure that this actually works is set these structure function numbers so that your smallest numbers on the bottom, this is a 1, that's a structure as a metal decking, and grass is a finished layer, it's a 5. So as long as it goes from 5 down to 1, and I can make this a 4, and I can make this a 4. It doesn't really matter what we're calling these, as long as it goes bigger number at the top, smaller number at the bottom, then you shouldn't get any errors. And then we can click OK. And it's giving me errors because I haven't actually selected thickness. So go ahead and do that. Make sure your thicknesses match up with the roof type that you chose, and then you should be in good shape with your green roof.